This is your city. This is your city wants to know. We want to know the background, the heartbeat of what makes up our beautiful cities. We dig into the backstories, from the struggles to the successes of our local entrepreneurs, small business owners, artists, not-for-profit organizations, and the many, many people who make up the intricate tapestry of our communities. Real people, real stories, by you and for you. But wait, that's not it. I love giving my opinion. Just ask anyone who knows me. We can't get enough of the honest, gritty feedback of places that we spend our hard-earned money. I'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly of the places I eat, sleep, and visit. Disclaimer, my opinion only. All right, so come on, let's get to it.
Hi everyone, Kim here. Thank you so much for tuning in. A little different today, no interviews with anybody. I just wanted to talk about something that's been on my heart the last couple of days. Many of you know, years ago, I used to have a ministry downtown Hamilton called Blankets of Love, and I was with the working poor and the homeless of our city, and I loved it. They were my family, my street family. But it's been a few years since I've had that ministry, and I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she said she was downtown, just off of Bay Street, on the other side of the First Ontario Place, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's like the Coliseum. It's like where all the concerts come and the sports events happen. So Bay Street is downtown, and it's along a lot of the financial district. It's a very, public place, a lot of businesses, corporations, what have you. She was down there, and she was talking to me about Tent City that's along that street. And I kind of said to her, I said, no, honey, they wouldn't have Tent City on that street. Like, they have places I know of where the homeless or the working poor, stay, set up their dwellings, but they wouldn't be on that street. This is a main street and main walk for all of the people to use. And she was adamant about it. And I was talking to a very good friend of mine who used to work for Hamilton Housing, and now she's a mental health counselor for the city of Hamilton. And she deals with a lot of displaced persons. And she was telling me, yes, there's a lot of tents down there that people are staying in. And I was like, well, why? Why would they be there? And she said, because of COVID, people have lost their jobs and they've lost their homes. And the rent, the housing market in Hamilton, there's no other word to describe it than disgusting. You can't get a one-bedroom apartment that's decent and nice. And I'm not just saying nice like has all the amenities. I'm just saying somewhere that you'd be comfortable to live without having to worry about, crummy landlords and bugs and mold and lots of stuff. You cannot get that in Hamilton for any decent price, under $1,000, I'm sure. So who can afford that? But my friend, where she works, she's off of a different area. So she said there was Tent City down there. So I took a drive downtown last Friday at about 2:00 in the afternoon. And I parked my car, and I saw what my daughter was talking about. Now, there was less tents there than was previously there when she was there. But so I parked my car, and I got out, and I was going to go talk to some of the people that were there. Just get their feelings and thoughts and what can be done and so forth. So as I crossed the street to get to their side, and you have to imagine most people try and stay on the other side of the street. They don't want to walk by all of these tents and these displaced people. So I get across the street, and I start walking, and I thought, okay, I'll take a run down the entire street first and then come back and talk to people. And as I'm walking by each tent, I'm noticing some things, okay? Some people are really set up. They've got couches, they've got chairs. Some have nice tents, some have not so nice tents. Some don't have tents at all. And I started noticing a common theme. These were not, in my opinion, people that were displaced due to COVID. People who had tax-paying jobs that couldn't afford to keep their apartments because they lost their jobs. And as I got to the end of that street and made my way back, I had to go back and sit in my vehicle for a minute because there was something stirring in me that wasn't right. These were people, for the most part, in my opinion, and I don't want to get any hate letters or hate Facebook posts or anything like that, but I cannot understand how the city of Hamilton allows this to happen. Most of the people that I saw were there by choice, in the sense. Now, remember when I just said that I had a ministry that I worked with the homeless and the working poor? They were my family. I love those people I spent many years with. Most of these people, there was so many, they were slumped over, and they had just, you can tell by the needles by their feet, or just because I'm familiar with the posture and attitudes and the visual, people who had just shot up and they were slumped over, and then their friends and crew around them. There was people smoking pot. Others, one guy, at least he attempted to try and make it to the garbage, throwing their garbage fell in the street. They just walk right by. Some people had open things of alcohol. And I was a little upset about this because the city of Hamilton should not allow this. This is a street where people who go to work have to walk down. This is where families have to walk down. Children going to the library, or maybe to, if there was an event going on at the center, people have to walk by this. There are many places that we can move these people to. And I am not being heartless. I am not being cold. You have to understand that. I understand there's a problem. I understand there's addictions, and I understand this, the whole world is in disarray right now, and I understand COVID is displacing people. That is not what I saw. I saw what should not be allowed. There should be more, the city of Hamilton, the police, the mayor, I don't know who, to do something about this. They should not be permitted to put up their dwelling places on that street. People do not need to see people who just finished shooting up and having needles by their feet as they're walking to work on their lunch break, leaving their work to go home, going shopping to the farmer's market. They don't need to see that as they're going about their daily business. And I'm not saying don't need to see it, like push it away and pretend it doesn't exist. That's not what I'm saying. So please don't hear what I'm not saying. That street is not a place for homeless or addicts or anything else. There is so many places in this city of Hamilton that we can move them. I understand that wall gave them shade. It was a very hot day, and in the wintertime it's probably going to be a wind blocker. There are many places, and on my drive home I was pointing out to myself in my vehicle saying we could put them there, we could put them there, this could be a place, and it would be better for them. And somehow this is not right. It's very upsetting. This is not right. And I'm hoping that somebody sees this and hears this that can do something. What does the city have to do? Now, there is a section of Tent City where people they can't afford their rent. They lost their jobs. Things are going on. That is a completely different scenario. A completely different scenario. And again, I'm not being cold. This is nothing about that. We're talking about something different here. Stay with me. It's where they're being allowed to put their dwellings. Like people had, like I said, sofas and chairs and all kinds of stuff set up. It's not right. Something needs to be done about that. Something needs to be done about that. There's many underlying issues. Services that we need, services that are available, but having this tent city on that street in downtown Hamilton should not be permitted. Please feel free to message me, send me an email at info@thisisyourcity.ca, Facebook, thisisyourcity.ca. I don't know. Let's discuss this. Let's talk about this. Let's have an open dialogue. And maybe together we can all come up with solutions and help our city. This is not unique to us, but I do know places that this would not be permitted. Not in a downtown core with people slumped over in the sidewalk with needles on their feet. It shouldn't be permitted. There was not one single officer, and everybody knows I am pro-blue, whatever colors their uniforms are today, pro-officer. And I am pro our police station, and I love what they're doing, and I salute them. But there wasn't anyone to be found. And I stood at the corner looking around for a while at everybody crossing the street to go onto the other side while they went about their daily business. Let's talk about it. Let's open a discussion. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in again. This is Kim at This Is Your City. We'll talk to you soon. Stay safe and stay blessed.